Welcome to the Make It a Better Day podcast, where we explore ways to enhance our lives and the world around us. I'm Alex, and joining me today is my co-host Victoria.
Hi everyone, always great to be here exploring life's deeper meanings with you all. You know, I've been really excited about today's topic since we first read this article called Unveiling Your Spiritual Canvas, a Journey of Self-Discovery.
Me too. Today, we're diving into something truly transformative. The idea that we're not just human beings having occasional spiritual moments, but actually spiritual beings having a human experience. Before we dive in, I want to share something that happened to me yesterday.
Oh, I love personal stories. What happened?
I was stuck in probably the worst traffic jam I've experienced this year. Usually that would drive me crazy, but I decided to try this new perspective we're discussing today. Instead of fuming, I used that time to reflect and practice mindfulness. It completely transformed what could have been a frustrating hour into something meaningful.
That's such a perfect lead into our discussion. We're exploring an article called Unveiling Your Spiritual Canvas, a Journey of Self-Discovery. And it really challenges our everyday perspectives like that. The piece opens with a powerful quote from philosopher Pierre Teilhard de Chardin.
Yes. Let's share that quote because it really sets the foundation for everything we're going to discuss today.
He said, "We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience." When I first read this, it stopped me in my tracks. It's such a fundamental shift in how we view ourselves and our daily experiences.
You know what fascinates me about this perspective? It's how it completely reframes our understanding of everyday challenges. Instead of seeing them as obstacles, they become part of our spiritual curriculum.
Exactly. The article uses this beautiful metaphor of life as a blank canvas. Each of us is essentially a spiritual artist, creating our masterpiece through daily experiences.
Can you elaborate on that metaphor? How does it play out in real life?
Think of it this way. Every experience we have, whether it's a moment of joy, a challenge, or even something as simple as a conversation with a stranger, adds another brushstroke to our canvas. The article mentions Mother Teresa as a perfect example of this.
Yes, tell us more about how Mother Teresa embodied this concept.
Mother Teresa worked in conditions most of us can't even imagine, the poorest streets of Kolkata. But instead of seeing overwhelming poverty, she saw divine presence in every person she met. Each act of kindness wasn't just charity, it was a spiritual expression. She transformed seemingly hopeless situations into opportunities for profound spiritual connection.
And the article pairs her example with Maya Angelou, doesn't it? Two very different paths, but both deeply spiritual.
Absolutely. Maya Angelou's story is particularly powerful because she faced tremendous personal trauma and systemic racism, yet transformed those experiences into art that continues to inspire millions. Her words didn't just tell stories, they painted pictures of resilience and hope.
What strikes me about both examples is how they found spiritual significance in very different circumstances. One in direct service to others, one through artistic expression.
That's a crucial point. The article emphasizes that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to spiritual growth. What matters is finding your authentic path.
Speaking of finding your path, the article outlines several practical techniques. Could we break those down for our listeners?
Of course, let's start with mindful moments. The article suggests setting aside time each day for stillness. I've been practicing this myself, starting with just 5 minutes in the morning.
How has that worked for you?
It's been transformative. At first, 5 minutes felt like an eternity. Now, it's become my anchor for the day. But what's really interesting is how this practice has spilled over into other moments, like your traffic jam experience.
Let's talk about gratitude journaling. The article presents it as another key practice.
Yes, and this is where many people get stuck. They think they need to write long, profound entries. But the article suggests simply noting 3 things you're grateful for each day. I've been doing this for about 3 months now.
What changes have you noticed?
The biggest shift is in my awareness throughout the day. I find myself mentally bookmarking positive moments, thinking, this will definitely make it into my gratitude journal tonight. It's like training your brain to spot the good stuff.
The article also emphasizes random acts of kindness. Why do you think this is included as a spiritual practice?
It's brilliant, actually. When we perform random acts of kindness, we're not just helping others, we're expressing our spiritual nature. Last week, I bought coffee for the person behind me in line, and their reaction was priceless. But what really struck me was how that simple act affected my entire day.
Can you expand on that? How did it affect your day?
It created this ripple effect. After seeing how one small gesture brightened someone's morning, I started noticing more opportunities for kindness. It's like it activated my spiritual awareness in a very practical way.
The article also discusses embracing the present moment, especially during challenging situations. How can our listeners start practicing this?
Start with simple situations: waiting in line at the grocery store, sitting in a delayed flight, or dealing with a difficult coworker. Instead of getting frustrated, ask yourself, what can this moment teach me? It's about transforming inconvenience into insight.
The article mentions exploring different spiritual teachings. Any suggestions for listeners who want to start that journey?
There are so many ways to approach this. You might start with reading different spiritual texts, attending workshops, or even just having deep conversations with people from different faith backgrounds. The key is to stay curious and open-minded.
One particularly powerful section discusses reframing challenges. Can you share your thoughts on this?
This is where the spiritual canvas metaphor really shines. Every challenge becomes a unique color in your palette. For example, I recently faced a major project failure at work. Initially, I was devastated.
How did you reframe that experience?
I started asking myself the questions the article suggests. What spiritual lesson is here? How is this contributing to my growth? Looking at it that way, I realized the experience was teaching me about detachment, resilience, and defining my worth beyond external achievements.
The article presents a specific challenge for readers. Could you walk us through that?
It asks us to reflect on recent experiences through 3 questions. What spiritual lesson did this experience offer? How did it contribute to your soul's growth? And how would you depict this experience as a brushstroke on your life's canvas?
Those are profound questions. How about we share them in our social media this week and invite listeners to respond?
That's a great idea. It would be fascinating to see how different people interpret their experiences through this spiritual lens.
As we wrap up, what do you think is the most important takeaway from this article?
That every single moment, whether we label it as good or bad, is an opportunity to add depth and meaning to our spiritual canvas. We're not just going through life, we're creating a masterpiece through our experiences and choices.
For listeners who want to explore these concepts further, visit the Make It a Better Day website. It features articles, videos, and discussions where you can connect with others on similar journeys.
And don't forget to visit our Redbubble store. We have some beautiful artwork and products that can serve as daily reminders of your spiritual journey. My personal favorite is the journals, perfect for those gratitude practices we discussed.
Thanks for joining us today on this exploration of spiritual self-discovery. Remember, you're not just living life, you're creating a masterpiece.
Until next time, keep adding those beautiful brushstrokes to your spiritual canvas, one moment at a time. And remember, every sunrise brings a fresh chance to make each day a little better.